Hey everybody, happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve. We've almost made it. Another work week almost done. Yay. How are you doing out there? Hopefully you can hear me okay. My microphone gave me a weird error, so hopefully you can hear me. Um, Hi Linda, saying long day at work and hope to finish a big project for work tomorrow. I have a big deadline for work tomorrow too. Ooh. So just going to chill and watch and drink my coffee. Linda, last week, wasn't your husband not feeling well or maybe in the hospital? How is he doing? Harley had a long work day too, a couple week. Oh, me too for a couple weeks. Gonna try to stay awake. Oh, good. Thank you. Thank you, Arlie. Hi, Katie. How's it going? I am quilting this baby quilt that I was supposed to have done. Well, I wanted to have done yesterday when I went to the office to drop it off, but we'll have to get it done this weekend. Hi, Twyla. Hi, Mona. Oh, Andy is pulling out the last little bit of bad tension on this long arm project. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen Andy's post, True Blue Quilts on Instagram, if you go on Instagram, she has a really funny picture of her with a giant seam ripper. I loved it. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Krista. Hey, Zaza. Oh, yes, he had his gallbladder taken out and is home now and working on him with his new diet. Oh, very good. That's right. Because I remember because my dad had his gallbladder out. Oh, I'm glad that he's doing well. Hi, Deb. Oh, I feel like I'm already behind. Hi, Cheryl. The snow has finally almost stopped in Midwestern Ontario. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm knocking on wood. I think the snow's coming to an end here. I can almost see my driveway. It's almost not a ice skating rink, but my husband said we're expecting more snow tomorrow or tonight, which I'm not looking forward to. Oh. Hi, Susan. All the way. It's already Friday. She's already TGIF from Melbourne. Ooh, Katie's working on my green Irish chain quilt. We'll have shamrocks in the open box. Ooh, that sounds really cute. Hi, Candace. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. So I am using a walking foot to so this is I haven't shown too much of it and I wasn't even going to put it on live, but I have to get it done, so we're going for it. I don't think that anyone at my job really follows my quilting YouTube. But so there's a woman at work and there's like this little tradition where like everybody makes a quilt block and then somebody assembles it. So I have quilt blocks in here that are cross stitch, crocheted. I think you can see this one. My boss made this one. How pretty is this? But I never had sewn through a crocheted block before. There's this really beautiful cross stitch. We have like just some iron on blocks, all kinds of blocks. So I had to consolidate them all into a wall hanging. And so I'm just going to kind of stitch in the columns and the rows. I don't think this can be washed. Like there's things with beads on it. Like, this is not going to wash and dry well. So I'm just going to tell her like, this is a wall hanging and, so I don't think I need to do any dense quilting on it because it shouldn't be getting used and abused. I'm going to put a sleeve on the back and maybe order a curtain rod hanger for her. So their baby shower for her is on Tuesday. So I'm trying to get it done this weekend and then drop it off at the office just in case I can't make it to the baby shower because it's also my daughter's birthday on Tuesday. And I think I go into the school to bring treats. So it's busy, busy, busy. Oh, good. Krista says I got my other pieces for the mystery quilt today, so now I can finish it. That seems like they sent them back to you pretty quick. Did that feel quick? It feels quick to me. Hey, Erin, but I also like don't have a good sense of time, so I feel like we just were Instagram messaging about it the other day, but it could have been a week ago, the way my brain works. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go right in the sashing. I'm not gonna quilt over any of the blocks. But it actually, so she had this, she backed this with, is it called a Aida cloth, the cross stitching? So she hand stitched it to that cross stitching cloth, and it was easy peasy to sew through. Like I, it was unbelievably. I was nervous. It was fine. I can't remember if I said hi, Erin. Hi, Erin. Hi, Jean. Sorry if I missed anybody. Oh, it was about a week. Well, that doesn't feel that quick. Not terrible, but not super quick either. It is a really nice gift, but let me tell you what, I have felt more pressure about this than like anything else I've ever made. Like one of the block, some of the blocks were a little wonky and not sized right. And so trying to like finesse them all together, because like you have to keep in mind, nobody except for this block right here, which was embroidered, nobody else is a quilter, right? So these are just people who are doing their best to put quilt blocks. None of them are routinely sewing. So actually the person who did these cross stitch blocks, these two, I don't know how much you can see. I don't even think she'd ever cross stitched before. So definitely, there's some wonkiness. Some of them cut it exactly the way, this crocheted block was a perfect 8x8. You can't, and that's what we asked for. You can't trim that down. But, some of these other ones were like 8x8, but like cut a little wonky. And so it was a little stressful. It is, isn't it? I was FaceTiming with my stepmom earlier and she's like, wow, I really love those fabrics on your wall. And I'm like, I hope I'm going to love them all together too, because it's going to be bright. Hey, Jess, happy cleaning. That's what I should be doing, or need to be doing, I should say. I normally have gotten into this routine where like I wake up a little earlier and then I get like a bunch of like a load of laundry and my dishwasher done and unloaded before like I even start getting the kids ready. And so like before I work from home, but when I start work at 8:10, like the house is in good shape. And then I'm terrible. I don't really usually take breaks, but I was like forcing myself to take breaks. And for some reason, that's just gone out the window this week. I was in the office yesterday, didn't do any of my normal stuff. I slept in today, didn't do my normal stuff. So my house, you can tell. Yeah, group projects are tricky. I love it. And I love all the love that goes into it. But man, I definitely feel, I just want to do a good job. I want her to love it. So I feel like pressure, right? Which is good, but. Hey, Sabrina, this is still the same new machine that I've had for a while. I think I got it like September 30th or something. So, but I haven't quilted with it before. So, and you might see more of it than you normally do because I backed the camera up. Looks like I'm a little dark too. Got to figure out my settings. How have you been, Sabrina? Yeah, we give really specific instructions, but especially for non-quilters, you don't truly understand the, implications and stuff, which is fine. You just have to work within those boundaries. There's another woman who I've been friends with who normally does this, but she was out for, I keep wanting to say she had her shoulder replaced, but I think it was her knee. But I keep asking her how her shoulder is every time, and it's her knee. And then I feel like an a-hole. But she normally does this. And so I did this one because she was out recovering. And she was like, oh, and I was like, don't, she made some comment like if I wanted to keep doing it going forward. I was like, Chrissy, you're good at this. You should just keep this. I can't handle the stress. Thank you. This one I'm a little annoyed by. This heart, I don't know if you, hold on, let me see if I click this off. You can kind of see this heart. It's so cute. It's a green heart on this yellow fabric. And I'm the one that helped the person do this. I went in and had like a little crafternoon and we used Heat and Bond Ultra Holds. This is coming off. What the heck? So I've never had a problem with Heat and Bond. I don't know if I didn't press good enough, but we bought some fabric glue, which is like some insane fabric glue that's like super heavy duty. So once I have this all quilted and everything, I don't know if anybody has any suggestions of the best glue, but I did get some fabric. glue in a tube. It says like ultra permanent or something. And we sewed a ton of buttons to my kid's shirt with it for his 100th day of school, and it seemed to fare well. But I'm like, is my heat and bond expired? Did I not do it right? I don't know. Hi, Brenda. Yes, keep your eyes closed. Yeah, I've done a few applique projects mostly. Well, I did my daughter's bunny quilt, but I didn't applique every block. So I don't, and I just do walking foot quilting. So I definitely didn't go over anything with that. I don't think. But yeah, I'm frustrated with this. Yeah, heat and bond's usually my go-to. I have to ask the other woman that normally does this because like not many people still quilt. So I would hold what we call crafter noon, and I would, help people make a bunch of applique blocks to help get these quilts done for people. And man, I wonder if she's had trouble in the past. I feel like she would tell me if she had, but she might have just glued it and moved on with her life just like I am. And I definitely used like the red permanent heat and bond. Man, I was like trying to match the pinks. Like you can't even, like that pink matches. Did I match it too much? I don't know. It'll be fine though. So that was the other challenge I had with this is pressing, because obviously I'm an ironer too, not a really good presser. And I guess I didn't appreciate how much I like to iron and press until almost every block on here I couldn't iron and press. And I'm wondering if when I was like trying to maneuver the iron around to iron some of these other things, if I did put too much heat on that applique block, and I did it. Yeah, I use the purple one sometimes for the light, but I always stitch around it. And that's what I use for my daughter's quilt, and that's held up great. This red one. Yeah, I did try to press it again, and then it got worse. So maybe it's too much heat. I've never had a problem before. First time. If I had more of that green fabric, which I don't, I was just going to pluck it off and do it again. But I'm just going to use some of this fabric glue we found, and it should be fine. I'm going to write the girl a little note to be like, please don't wash me, and, just spot clean it if you need it. Or if she does wash it, definitely gentle and not put it in the dryer, I don't think. I definitely do not know if some of these blocks would hold a washing machine. So I don't know how many of you saw, but I posted a video recently about my cotton cuts experience. And in that video, I grabbed a hot iron. You don't get to see me actually grabbing it because that's out of frame, but you get to see me go, which I almost cut out because it made me cringe. But I was like, you know what? How often do you catch somebody burning their hand on an iron on video? So I was getting ready to finish this quilt when it happened. So I've been out of commission up until really today. It's been about 5 days. Man, that was crazy. Oh yeah, like if it happened for me, I wouldn't care at all. But like I just want this to be perfect for her, and so, yeah, not good. Odif 505 is a miracle worker when the bonding starts to wear. That's a spray, right? I wonder if my quilt shop has that. Yeah, I feel like these projects like really know. Oh, I should probably not put those because it's covering. I feel like these projects really know that it's not for me. So like, let's really challenge me with it. So I found her nursery theme is wildflowers, which I think is so cute. And can you see this block yet? You're getting close. That's like iron-on blocks that somebody did. They're really cute. So I found a stitch that goes vertically, that's a flower, and then I found tulips that I can do horizontally. So I'm going to do 2 different types of flowers, stitching, one going up and down, one going sideways. So that'll be cute. And then I have, oh, you can see the backing, which I love this backing. And I'm going to do the binding in this backing as well. I thought about using this backing as the sashing, but I thought it would just be way too wild. You know, because I use solids for everything. We can't get too far out of our comfort zone. I do think the flowers would have been fine, but I went the safe route. I was also thinking about stitching around the heart, but it's the Heat and Bond permanent that you're not supposed to stitch, and I wasn't sure if that would be worth it to risk. I don't know. I've never tried to sew over that, and I didn't know how gummy it might be. Fabric fuse glue, that might be what my husband found. And that we used to sew my or glue buttons to my son's shirt. That worked fabulous. My hand's doing okay. It hurt a lot. I could not believe how, so it was a little iron, like the little handheld ones that I swore I had unplugged. Famous last words. And thankfully my palm grabbed the back, the handle. And so it was just where my fingers went over to the front to grab it that I got burnt. It hurt so bad for 2 hours the day I did it. I literally left my hand in cold water for 2 hours. And then it was fine. But now I have a huge blister on my pinky, and that just showed up 5 days later, 4 or 5 days. I think this happened Sunday. It was either Sunday or Saturday, because it was still the weekend. I know I had to work then, or maybe it was Sunday, because I'm pretty sure I had to work the next day, and I was worried about typing. So I think it was Sunday. Happy Thursday, Joan. Friday Eve. I have I have a few pretty important, significant deadlines at work, external reporting I have to give to a government agency, and tomorrow is one of them, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. But I always get and I've been doing this for over 10 years now, but I still get the jitters submitting this. And so tomorrow is going to be, it always feels so good when I finally hit send on that email and send it over to them. But I probably won't sleep well tonight. And then I'll probably wake up too early to finish that deadline off. But then tomorrow I'll have a great weekend planned. I've been driving the kids to the end of the driveway to get on the bus, because our driveway is a sheet of ice. So I think tomorrow, to celebrate that it's deadline day, I'm going to drive over to Stewart's after I'm done, which is a local gas station, and get myself a caramel iced coffee and a little treat. Oh, you've been using Heat and Bond on all the patches? I've been thinking about getting my daughter into Girl Scouts, but I haven't yet. It was Sunday. Okay, thanks, Brenda. Brenda's my memory. Dawn says, do not pop the blister. I've been holding out on it. So I have lidocaine pain patches, and they are fabulous for burns. My husband's a welder, so he gets burned a lot, and he had some sort of burn gel cream that he put on it right after it happened, but it wasn't helping. The ice water helped, but I did put it on the next day, and it did help a lot. Now I really don't have any pain other than my skin's dry and tight, but oh, you went to Joann's and managed to get out of there for under $40. Were they having really good sales yet, Dawn? That sounds horrific, Zaza. If you pop the blister, you have to de-roof it. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just leave the blister the way it is. I'm I need to type. But it's so funny. The second I burned my hand, I was like, crap. Well, I used a different word. And because I knew I had to finish this quilt. And then I was like, oh my God, my work deadline. It's going to take me twice as long to finish everything if I can only use one hand. Thankfully, it is my left hand. And I'm right-handed. So that worked out nice. But honestly, The biggest thing that's hurt my hand since this happened was I had to drive into the office yesterday, which is about a 40-minute drive for me. And driving on the rubbing on the steering wheel was hurting. I know. I'm mostly sad for Joanne's. I don't know. I heard I don't know if it was true or not, but I thought somebody had said that maybe like that company that bought them could like reopen a fabric store under another name, but I don't know if that would really happen or not. I know I don't get a lot of my quilting fabrics there much anymore, but like sometimes when I'm making like tote bags or zipper bags, I do love going there for their prints and their fat quarters. It's been great for these projects. It's been absolutely wonderful. I think some of those fabrics and the backgrounds were some from my stash that I got from Joann's. When we first started doing this at work, I literally went to Joann's and bought like 20 different fat quarters for $1 each, so that I had like started to build a stash for people to do applique blocks. So it is, it's sad. I was really rooting for them. I mean, I think it'll be good for quilt shops, but I know that people who do apparel sewing, right? Like that's going to be super tough for them. I really don't need to. Thankfully, I mean, I want to start like trying to sew up more than just quilts, but right now I'm doing okay. And I still have a local quilt shop that's really close to me. So, oh, I think this came out not great, but like, I don't know. The flowers look really wonky. That does not look like the description, Janome. But we're going to keep it going because consistency. Joan says, it's funny if you go look up their locations on their website, nearly all are marked as liquidating, but there are a few not showing as, oh, interesting. I've heard sales aren't great, Joanne. Someone even said the prices before. Oh, yeah, I have no doubt because they are always big on those coupons. Remember, it's like JCPenney back in the day. So maybe eventually, but if they're planning on like shuffling that stock elsewhere, they might not go too crazy. It's definitely good for quilt shops. It's just for folks who don't know where to go. So they went there initially. Yep. Literally self-taught. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I lived dangerously close to a quilt shop and had no idea quilt shops existed for the longest time while making quilts. Okay, Sabrina's like, don't go yet. They're still marking things up. Dawn was translating a cross-stitch pattern, and I decided all of the squares are 2.5 each. Note to self, 3 squares is 6.5 and not 7.5. Good news. Too long, the cells are okay. Yeah. That quilt math, that'll get you. That will get you. Joan said, the thing I would go for now is the Happy Value muslin for $2 a yard. Oh, that is good. I don't think I'm going to, I think I'm just going, so this has 3 columns of quilt blocks. I think I'm going to quilt down the 2 sashing, and then I don't think I'm going to quilt the edges. I think I'll just get that when I'm binding. That should be fine. And then I'll do the little tulip stitch horizontally. Everything went to regular price and then a 20 to 25% discount. Yeah, and like nobody ever really bought anything at full price at Joann's, I don't think. Yeah, I got my batting from Joann's on Black Friday. The first year I got just some packages of it, and then the second year I got 2 huge rolls that I have yet to use because I just don't fit. I just start a million projects and haven't finished any. But at some point here, I'm going to finish some, and I'm going to have the batting to do it. I did thankfully have a package of batting for this, so I didn't have to bring out that whole roll under my table because my room's a mess and it would have been a whole to do. Oh, Katie said they had no batting and only a few. Oh, what's going on? What am I doing? They had no batting and only a few pillow forms. Yeah, they definitely are banking on people not paying attention, just looking at the discount. Yeah, so at first, not all were going to close, but then it went to auction, and then the people that bought it at auction, I think it's an auction technically, once they bought it, they announced they're liquidating them all. So even they don't know the dates they're all closing, but they are all closing. So I asked that question. So Aaron's asking, do folks buy cream or white when they use white for a quilt top? I bought a roll of bleach because I don't like the shadow of the cream. So that is when I bought mine on sale, it came with a roll of the natural color, the cream color, and then a roll of the white. And I asked why I need them. And I got an overwhelming response that if there's white in the quilt top, people prefer the white because they don't like the shadow. Oh, poor Brenda in Canada. Can I bring that to you? What's the rules about bringing things across the border? Because this definitely doesn't cost me $500 here. Dawn's asking that she has a bolt of muslin. Is that okay for quilting? What are we using muslin for, friends? I know I'm not using it. I've never bought it. I've heard of it. No, I don't think she's using it for batting. Have they used it for making quilts? What is muslin? Is it just a cotton? Or is it muslin its own thing? Like it's not cotton, it's muslin. I should probably Google. You guys are my Google. Yeah, I've literally heard of it, but I've never touched it or anything to my knowledge. Oh, okay. Katie is saying quality muslin was used for quilts for ages. Many use it for backing. Joan says, yes, it's cotton. Some is thicker than others. A lot of people in the past would embroider on it. Okay. Here, muslin is like gauze, but your muslin is what I'd call calico. Okay. I was thinking of it for foundation piecing, but putting it in the quilt as a cream. Oh. So, yes, I think that's where I've heard of it. I think they would make their, like, yes, isn't that what they would use to make their first draft of their dresses and clothes and stuff? They do like a muslin one, try it on, and then they would make their pattern pieces. I'm like 99% sure that's where I've heard of it. And there you go. Joan says it's also good for doing test blocks or mock-ups. It's a thinner, plain cloth. I use it for labels or practice sandwiches. I do think that when I was in my quilt guild one time, they did recommend that I get some muslin to do practice free motion quilting, but I'm a walking foot kind of gal. I don't need to practice. Well, I should practice. Okay, Brenda's using bolt of muslin for her long arm for practice. I also use, inside of the bags. Good idea. Oh, and Twyla's got an old quilt from a family member who used it as backing. Look at that. The things we learn. Yeah, that's definitely where I heard from it. Good old Project One Way. I gotta rewatch some of those Original Seasons. I loved that stuff. Oh, also I'm making my quilted quote with it to lay out my blocks and fit. Cool. Fly by. Oh, very cool. All right. Listen, have any of you guys done one of these cotton cuts mystery quilts? I have a question. If you have. Inside of my mystery quilt, there's like literally like a little murder mystery and my clue. And it's like reminds me of Clue. There's like 3 weapons, 3 rooms, and you're supposed to like read these logical facts and figure out who did the murder. Is it like every month I get a new murder, or do I have to like do the clues accumulate? And so I'm just guessing now, but like next month I get more clues to help me, or is it one murder I solve per month? 'Cause I don't feel like I have enough facts to solve the murder today. I sat here earlier. I was trying to solve the murder for my quilting mystery quilt, and I did not solve the murder. Oh, I've used muslin to make huge applique templates. Oh, yay, Andy finally finished ripping. This has been a nightmare project. Ripped out 1 back in January. Row 2 was fine. Oh, ripped out 1 row back in January. Row 2 was fine, and then 3 went to hell. Now I'm scared to stitch it again. Andy's having tension issues on her long arm. Oh, I didn't know you made collage quilts. One of my good friends makes really well, I think they're technically, yeah, she makes collage landscape quilts. They're so beautiful. All right, you and me both. We'll have to talk offline to see if you have a guess on who did it. They put in bold, though, that the chalk was used. So I'm like, did they already give me one of the answers? Oh, this is the first time Cotton Cuts has done a mystery within a mystery. So I have no idea. Oh, okay. Because yeah, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. There's not enough room. No, they don't even tell us where the person was found dead. They're just like, hey, this lady showed up and there's been a murder. Here's everybody, take a guess. And I'm like, but where was the body? Where was the dead guy? I need to know. You know, this is all fake, obviously. I'm not solving a real murder. It's a murder mystery quilt clue. I hands down think of all seam ripping, quilting's the worst, followed by foundation paper piecing. I can't even imagine, though, ripping out stitches on a long arm, like quilting. Like this would suck, but it's definitely wouldn't suck as bad as a long arm, like at all. Like that would be terrible. It was so frustrating because it was just small, random, bad spots, but I still had to rip out the whole block, right? Because you can't just like pick up and start, right? Like you need to. Oh, Susan says we had a murder mystery party for my daughter's 18th birthday. How fun. That's fun. Hi, Sherry. Zaza, no doubt. I was heavily influenced by our peers who we interact with who are always doing these quilts, but I'm not sure. I might be a one and done. Although Sean from The Guy Who Sews sent me an Instagram message today because all I did in my first video about cotton cuts is complain about that I miss my solids, and they're doing like a mini mystery solids thing majig. That was like $25 for me, like including shipping and tax. So fine, I did it. So I got my solids. So now I'm doing 2. I've gone from 0 to 2. Anyone seen Rita's bomb that she's doing? It's adorable. No, how do we find this? What's happening with that? Tell us everything. Somebody just posted. Who is the one that just posted a reel on Instagram? Was it Cindy? It was Cindy about the seam ripper, and she put it in. I saved it. She just zipped down with her seam ripper. I've never in my life seen that done. I am like, pick, 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 pick. She just like zip, ripped everything out. I just saw that video today. Blew my mind. I cannot wait to try it. Tasha says that is soul destroying. It is soul destroying. Done it on a long arm, but either way, yeah. Oh, Joyce has never done one of the puzzle mystery quilts. Are you asking what's a puzzle? A PMQ is a puzzle mystery quilt, and I think it's specifically by Cotton Cuts. It's like you get all the pre-cut pieces. I have a box with all of them, and you get these. I'm not sure puzzle quilts are going to be for me. Yeah, not knowing how something's going to look is tough. Krista, that sounds right. To be honest with you, he sent me the message on Instagram, and then I just like clicked and saw that the price was, and I just bought it because I'm terrible. I'm an impulse buyer. It's terrible. Someone take my phone away. Yeah, like you pop the red end in and then rip away. Like what? What does it mean to pop it in? That's what I didn't understand from the reel. She literally said use those same words. I'm like, where are we popping it in? What are we doing? Katie says fast ripping is great until you rip the fabric. That sounds right. I rip the fabric going slow too, though, sometimes. So yeah, I definitely think it was called the Mystery 50 or something. Oops. Okay. I like accidentally touched something on my computer and it all like freaks out. I'm on like a super old laptop. That's still hanging on. It's still doing me good. Oh, she got it from somewhere else, but it is a all log cabin. The hearth changes. January was a house, February was a star. Oh, that's cute. The red bit goes into the seam. I think I'm going to sew up something this weekend just to rip it out. Never thought I'd ever say those words. Chris says, yeah, you got to turn your seam ripper a certain way and you can run it down the seam pretty easy. Doesn't always work for me, but it's better. So Cindy, I think she's the long arm quilter on Instagram, had a video and she's like something like, what if you have 24 blocks that all need like that you sewed wrong? And I was like, well, now that's the right way. Like my solution is we're done. Like now we're going to make a new layout with the blocks that I made because there's no way I'm seam ripping 24. But that's just me. But and then in her video, she's like, you just, buckle down and seam rip. And it literally, I was like, what? I've been doing this wrong. Maybe I would seam rip 20 blocks if I knew how to do it that way. The red ball has to be under the seam, not on top where the seam is open, right? So she picked a few stitches, put the thing in. Yeah, I'm trying it. Like face down on the seam. I will send you a video, Tasha, FaceTime. This is what I need. Like I need help. I would not seam rip 20 blocks. It's not going to happen. I don't cut in eighths and I just wouldn't, I don't ever, can't imagine a situation where I'm like, yep, I'm seam ripping 20 blocks. I just don't see it happening. Dawn's used a rotary cutter for longer seams. One time I sewed my backing for a quilt wrong. I sewed on the wrong edge. So literally just sewed it back together. Like, you cut two pieces so that you can sew them together to make the backing. And I just sewed them back together. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I can just cut a little off. This is great. Don't have to, because, I was already thinking about what new backing I could buy. Then I thought of my rotary cutter. Oh, and Brenda's saying that you also have to hold taunt when you're doing it. That makes sense. Interesting. So Andy's saying too, if you have a long straight seam, the rotary cutter works great. My little brain can't even imagine how I'd use a rotary cutter without just like cutting off my seam allowance. And oh my God. And then Zaza's saying, take your rotary cutter and I'll raise you a scalpel. I prefer a scalpel. I slice with a ceramic blade. Wild. Yeah, I need to keep an eye out for duvet covers on sale. Oh, and I just use a rotary cutter to cut the seams. Yeah, that makes sense. I cannot believe my daughter's turning 5 on Tuesday. I have got to come up with a good gift for her. She's so cute. I said, "What do you want for your birthday? Do you have any ideas?" And she goes, maybe some makeup. And I'm like, "Honey, you have like, I mean, this kid's got, I don't know. She's obsessed with makeup. I got her a little vanity for Christmas." And then she goes, maybe you could just surprise me then. You could surprise me with what it is. You can surprise me with what color it is. And I said, "I'm not sure. I know I just really want you to like your birthday present." She's like, "I know that you'll surprise me with something good." So now I'm feeling the pressure. I'm thinking Barbies, maybe. Yeah, I'm with you, Krista. I feel like I would definitely cut my fabric. My mom used to do it with a razor blade. Dang. Yeah, she's 5 going on 15. Interesting. She's got to be cute, Zaza, or I'd set her free. Good night, Dawn. Thanks for popping by. Good to see ya. Enjoy your dinner. Yummy. We had subs for dinner tonight, homemade subs. My son is loving turkey subs, and I love turkey subs. And my daughter's picky about everything. So we had subs 2 nights this week because we have like wrestling, swim lessons, all this stuff. Sub sandwich coming through for us. I don't know what the in toy is now. I don't know. My kids like watch Netflix, so we don't even like get commercials of toys. I don't know. I really feel like a Barbie house with a Barbie, because my mom got her a little remote control car for Christmas that had a Barbie in it, and that was like the first Barbie she ever had, and she loved the playing with the Barbies. So I don't know. Andy says you don't need much pressure with the rotary cutter, and it is held parallel to the fabric, not as dangerous as you'd think. Zaza, isn't that the freaking truth? I always said if anyone kidnapped my daughter, they would return in the hour. I don't even think they'd make it like down the street. She's even like funny with her dad now. Like he'll want to go in, like we put the kids to bed and then we switch. So we go snuggle the other kid. And now when we go to switch, my daughter's like, can you text daddy and tell him I do not need his snuggles tonight? I was like, damn, man, that is brutal. That is brutal. Oh. I always used to say to my daughter, don't make me put you out on the street for you to get home. I always just say, I'm going to set you free. I'll set you free. You've learned enough, right? She's like, no, I haven't learned enough. Yeah, we all have one. My son is so sweet. He'd probably like hold the door open for the kidnapper, make sure that they were feeling okay. My daughter, no, not at all. Yeah, I feel like she'd like the Polly Pocket. Is that still a thing? Oh my God, you're bringing me back. Holy crap. I got a Polly Pocket when I was probably like 8. Oh my God, so small. Zaza. I love the Polly Pocket idea. I love that idea. I do think I heard at some point that they are a little different than my childhood because they were like choking hazards. But I still think that might be a great gift. Brenda says, I always told my daughters that I know why mothers in the wild eat their young. That's funny. I'm glad to know that we're all telling our kids the same stuff in just different fonts, right? Free to a good home, why I should be eating you in the wild, so I'm going to set you free. We're keeping therapists in the future. We're giving the next round of therapists their clientele. The therapist can be, my mom told me she knows why animals eat their babies. I know. Aaron just got one of those walking pads. So they're like a treadmill, but not a treadmill, like low, minimal. Is anybody out there got a walking pad? I've been toying with the idea of one, and then Erin sent me a video of her walking on her walking pad today, and I was like, dang, I'm tempted. Surprise, right? I just told you what an impulse shopper I am, but I did not buy a walking pad. Yeah, now Brenda has the joy of watching her kids, but they had boys, and Brenda had 2 girls, and both of her girls had boys. Oh, that's funny now that I say that out loud. I never realized that. You had daughters and grandsons. The Polly Pockets are different now that they are bigger and have weird rubber outfits. I know, man, I wish I had the crap from when I was a kid. So good. Andy says, I saw a TikTok from a college-aged kid about lies parents told their kids. So funny. Like too much TV burns your eyes square. That's funny. So I have the most ridiculous, I don't know if it's really a lie my parents told me, but it came back to bite me in college. So I loved Pee Wee Herman when I was a kid. Loved Pee Wee Herman. And my parents always had a rule that you don't lick butter knives. There's a point to this story. So it was like fanatical in my house. Don't lick the knife. You never lick a knife. Don't lick a knife, right? And then I think it's like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He has like giant thing of pancakes and he licks the butter knife, right? And I remember thinking like, oh my God, you're not supposed to lick a butter knife, right? Like that's how much my parents had ingrained it in me that I saw it on TV and I thought it was shocking that this guy just licked this butter knife. Well, then I find out on the news that like Pee-wee, was arrested. I don't even know how old I was at the time, probably old enough to know better. And I looked at my parents and I said, oh my God, did Pee-wee get arrested for licking the butter knife? And they were like, yep. Right. So they didn't make up the lie, but obviously if any of you know what Pee-wee got arrested for, talking to your young daughter about that, probably not what you want to do. So then I was in college and we were talking about Pee-wee and I'm like, and I know Andy got arrested for licking a butter knife. And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I went, that doesn't seem right. But in my head, all those years, I thought he went to jail for licking a butter knife. Susan said, I told my daughter my ears will start bleeding if she doesn't stop talking. Hi, Laura. Don't never be sorry. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Judy. Did Pee-wee die? Oh, I think I do remember that now. I think I just blocked that out of my brain. I love Pee-wee. I'm going to introduce my kids to some of those Pee-wee movies soon. Hi, Chloe. So, yeah, Pee-wee did not get arrested for licking a butter knife, just in case you were wanting to know. I wonder if I can stream any of those Pee-wee shows Oh, I feel like I just got a TV for my sewing room. I feel like that would bring me so much joy sewing and watching those Pee Wee shows, like just pretending that I'm a kid again. I found that I don't know if you've ever experienced that as you like get older, where I like try to find like what brought me joy when I was a teen, like what music, what like black cherry incense, like weird stuff, and I'm like trying to bring back little pockets of that stuff. Yeah, you know what? I don't care what he did in that adult theater. Those freaking Pee Wee shows were ah, not me, man. What was oh my god, now I just remembered something else I love too that's probably weird and I gotta teach my kids or introduce is Ernest Scared Stupid or Ernest. All those Ernest movies? Pee-wee and those Ernest movies, man, they got me through. I loved those things. Black Cherry's great everything. It's great everything. It's, if you well, I'm in New York and there's Black Cherry. Adirondack Soda is a brand of soda. And they have Black Cherry, which I get like usually on my birthday once a year. I get Black Cherry because if I have it around me, I'll drink it. So I get their Black Cherry soda. It's like the best incense flavor. Ernest Goes to Camp. He is dead too. Damn. Damn it. Ernest Goes to Camp was a good one. I think we had the tape of Ernest Scared Stupid, and I think my sister and I like watched that tape to oblivion. Yeah, he definitely did, Judy. He definitely did. I think I've seen a Police Academy, but that wasn't. I think CJ had me watch that when we first started dating, actually. Aaron says yes to Police Academy. No, but I'm gonna go find that. Do you remember Ernest was on Roseanne? He played a prince who wanted to marry Jackie. I mean, I watched a lot of Roseanne too when I was a kid, so I bet you I just didn't put it together at the time, but I would love that now. Ooh, Back to the Future. Goonies. I loved Goonies too. Oh man, this is gonna be fun. My kids are almost like cool enough to want to hang out and watch a movie. Last weekend we went to the mall, and in our mall is this place called Caramel Corn, and they make it's just this it's been there forever, and they make it's like away from the movies. It's its own little store in the mall, own little shop, and they make the best popcorn. And I got white cheddar popcorn from there, and it was like, okay guys, we're gonna have you get like the biggest box ever for like $15. I ate it for like 4 days. And I was like, guys, let's watch a movie. So I put on a kid movie. I heard the Emoji Movie was really great for keeping kids engaged. My kids, after like 45 minutes, are like, can we be done? Fine, we can be done. But movie night isn't that much fun if you don't finish the movie. Yes, I do. Are they like were they like a chain? I've only ever seen one in our mall. It's been there since I was a kid. Um, Literally looks the same as when I was a kid. They like shovel it into a box, like the red and white striped box, and they don't eat. Do you want it open or closed? Love it. Yeah, Zunies or Zunies. I read yes, Goonies, Zaza, and I turned that into Zunies. I loved Goonies. I loved Roseanne. I did watch the Addams Family with my kids. Like they wanted to watch the Wednesday movie because it was like trending, but I wasn't sure how appropriate it would be. So I was like, oh, we're gonna watch the original Addams Family with Wednesday in it. And there were some parts in there that maybe wasn't the best for them, but it was really fun. And then they were obsessed with it. We watched the Addams Family like 20 times in like 3 weeks. My daughter was obsessed with the Barbie movies. Now that she's in college, we aren't allowed to give her the DVDs away. Ooh, if there's Barbie movies, maybe Barbies would be a good idea for Josie. We had them in South Dakota, but I haven't seen them anywhere else. I actually just looked to see if I could get popcorn delivered, but they like barely have a website. Um, so if I drive back out there, it's so good. Oh, Elf was a good one. Ferris Bueller, that's a good one too. With 11-year-olds, all the Munsters, Porky's. I think I watched Porky's a little bit. Oh, Aaron's not into the Barbies. I don't know. I still feel like the Polly Pocket is like I have to look and see what they are. I feel like my daughter will love the Polly Pocket. My daughter loved them in every movie and had new sets of dolls. Oh, fun. Well, wonder if these flowers came out any better than the last row. Not really. Hopefully the tulips come out better. Once I finish this, I'll take pictures and make a video or post them if you want to see. Yeah, this, that meme on TikTok, this is what I wanted and this is what I got. These flowers are not lining up. Oh yeah, Zaza Mattel did a great job with the movies and new dolls every 6 months. They knew how to keep that money flowing. Yeah, I haven't heard about Barbies in a long time. So I don't know how they're doing with all that, but we liked Alf too. We also a very specific movie that my sister and I really liked was called The Three Ninjas. Oh, I can't wait to show my kids The Three Ninjas. That was a good movie. Rocky loves Emily. Man, we really, really wore out some of our DVDs. It looks kind of better on the back. I don't think these decorative stitches do great through multiple layers of fabric. Katie's got the elf stuffed toy. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know what to get her. I gotta really think about it. Erin collected Muffy bears, which my aunt started for me. My daughter loves stuffies. But she's got so many stuffies. Barbie was great. She could be whoever she wanted to be. It's just the body image was bad. In the UK, we had Cindy dolls, and she was more a normal body shape plus possible arms and legs. Oh, Chloe always wanted the elf stuffed toy. You got to make that happen for yourself. Chloe, make yourself a Christmas list. You deserve it this Christmas. That's so funny. I remember like thinking it was funny when I was a kid, but like I don't remember like the premise of it, right? Like I just remember him, his voice, laughing, but I don't like remember. I've never heard of these Muffy Bears. We did Beanie Babies. Yeah, so I think tomorrow I just gotta zip down the 3 interior with the tulips and then bind it. That'll be good. And hopefully with a little pop of wildflowers in the binding, we will be happy with it. Oh, that's funny. I'll have to Google those. I think I forgot to put the live replay on this live, so I need to go find the name of this and put it on the screen. Muffy Bears. Okay. Hopefully I've put enough comments on the screen. If anybody's watching, they can follow. I think there's a specific setting in there that I have to pick to make sure that the live chat stays, and I forgot to. Why YouTube can't remember, like, I want to do this the exact same way every single week. I want these specific settings picked every week. There's probably a way, but I have not figured that out. Katie says, every time I pull lint from a dryer, I think of Elf. I have got to rewatch that. I had an Elf plushie too. Oh man, I definitely need to rewatch it. And those like Fraggle Rock. I gotta make a list. That's what we need to do. Make a list of all this stuff. They came with beautiful gowns and outfits, and depending on the release, they are worth money now. Just like all those Hess trucks that I have somewhere my parents swore they would be worth money. Yeah, I really need to rewatch that one too. It's so funny. Like, I've never had the best memory, but I can remember that I loved these things, that they made me laugh, that they were my favorites, but I don't remember why. Like, what about them I loved. I just know that I loved them. A lot of my stuff is gone. Although I have a couple porcelain dolls that my dad dropped off. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with those things. Smurfs. My grandpa had little Smurf and Raisinets, like figurines, and we'd always play with them when we went to his house. Loved them. I don't even know if we didn't have cable. My dad's, where I grew up, we didn't even have like internet until I was like almost out of college. Like, we lived in the middle of nowhere. Cable wasn't even offered to my dad until I was like moved out of his house. But I remember loved playing with the figurines, but I don't think we had access to the Smurfs. Did you guys have the Wombles? Wombles? No, that doesn't sound familiar to me. My Little Ponies and Care Bears. Thundercats. That doesn't ring a bell. Oh, that's my problem. My keyboard's under there, and I was leaning on it. That's why everything's getting wonky. Andy says, I remember the exact location of the store in the mall that had the full stock of the Smurfs. So funny. Oh, never heard of Thundercats. It's funny. You can kind of tell who's the similar age by what they know. Have any of you heard of the Wombles? Aaron's saying I was a Shira girl. Zaza says Wombles is UK. Wombles of Wimbledon, common are we. Were they? Sounds fun. Yeah, that did not cross the pond. I did watch Oh my God, He-Man, the movie, and then Xena, Warrior Princess. We had that channel, and He-Man. Oh my God, Xena, Warrior Princess. That was my jam. Shira is not computing. Oh, Shira. Saying it wrong. That's how much it's not computing. I'm saying it wrong. I would fight you for He-Man, Susan. I would fight you for He-Man. Original Johnny Quest. Nope, not for me. I have a good luck Care Bear. He has 4-leaf clover on his stomach. I should bring him out. Yes, you should, Katie. My daughter has a Care Bear. That's funny. Man, really need to make a list of all the things my kids need to experience, because they really are getting to the point, hopefully soon, where they can sit through a whole movie. I don't know. They just have short attention spans, just like all of us these days. Susan really just wanted Battle Cat. I know, somehow I made all of the text really small. I'm scared to try to fix it. Wait until I'm done. We definitely need the 4-leaf clover out for St. Patrick's Day. Well, I got to work tomorrow. And I got to get that deadline done. Hopefully, I did not pop my blister doing this. I could feel it. Nope, still intact. Oh, this battle cat seems to be popular. I have never heard of that. I missed out on battle cat. I was too busy watching PBS, Arthur, and Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider. Wishbone. That's what we had with no cable. Anyone remember Wacky Racers come on Saturday mornings? Oh, I don't remember that. I only remember one specific He-Man movie. Thanks, Arlie. I appreciate hearing that I'm young. Turning 40 soon. Why do I not remember He-Man's cat? Yeah, apparently I need to look into that. Refresh my memory. Completely forgot about the any cat. Not shocking. Not shocking that I have forgotten. Oh, I only saw a movie, I think. Yeah, I don't remember any huge green tiger in the movie I saw. You're like, what, 3 years older than me? Oh, sorry, Brenda. Good night. Yes, I gotta go too. But this has been fun. I need to make a list next week. I only watched the movie He-Man. All right. You guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Got 2 rows quilted. Figure out the rest of the stuff. I hope you all have a nice, safe, non-snowy, peaceful weekend. I am hoping for that for myself too, but we have like 2 family birthday parties and a wrestling match. So I don't think there's going to be too much relaxing for me, but I'm going to try. But thank you all for hanging out with me. I love hanging out with you guys every Thursday. You guys are the best. And thank you, Katie. I'm going to get this quilt and this report done, and then I'm going to celebrate with some drinks tomorrow night. So I hope you find some time for yourself. I'll see you back here next Thursday. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.